As global trade faces mounting volatility, marked by rising protectionism and geopolitical tensions, China and the European Union are charting a course towards deeper cooperation. Recent developments underscore this trend. In April 2025, the EU replaced tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles with a minimum price mechanism, easing trade tensions and fostering a more balanced competitive landscape. Meanwhile, Chinese investments in Europe, such as BYD's Hungary production base and CATL's German factory, demonstrate how economic ties are evolving beyond trade into integrated industrial collaboration. This pivotal moment coincides with the 15th anniversary of China-EU diplomatic relations in 2025, offering a historical opportunity to reinforce their strategic partnership. How will China and the EU shape a more stable and prosperous future?
So there's no doubt that the global environment right now is quite uncertain. Some would even call it volatile. But it is difficult to know when the environment will change. But what is less difficult to know is how relationships will evolve. And we believe at the EU Chamber that the relationship with China has always been of closeness and resilience. And we believe that in every moment of uncertainty or difficulty, there's also a moment of opportunity. And this is exactly how we view the situation right now.
Since February 2025, the US President Donald Trump has adopted a tactic of verbal tariff threats, temporary suspension, negotiation mediation to pressure the EU into repeatedly adjusting its stance on tariffs.
But I also want to be clear. Reaching for tariffs as your first and last tool will not fix it. I deeply regret this choice.
On April 9th, just hours after so-called reciprocal tariffs took effect, it announced a 90-day suspension of most tariffs, including those on the EU.
We're going to go down to a 10% baseline tariff. Do not retaliate, and you will be rewarded.
Such a capriciously flopping approach has posed a significant challenge to mutual trust between two sides.
We cannot trust because the decisions being done in the US are erratic. No one can say what will happen after 90 days. We most likely will have a deal because also Trump realizes that all these tariffs and this increase in tariffs are damaging his own country. He did that with a lot of agreements in the past. Look, climate change, he canceled again. Look, the agreement between Iran and the UN, he canceled it on atomic development of atomic bombs. It shows we have international agreements, and these international agreements are valid now for 20, 50, 80 years. And he is canceling these agreements. So that's what I mean. We cannot trust. Today we make an agreement. Tomorrow he will say, oh, sorry, I'm changing it. The biggest point is, in his ministers that he has around him, they always say yes to him. They never contradict. They never show him that another way should be more intelligent, more clever, more reliable. So that is why I'm saying we cannot trust, because he does not understand. He only understands politics from his old job as a developer in real estate. But that, as I said before, does not work in politics.
50 years ago, China established diplomatic ties with the European Economic Community, what we now know as the European Union. Since then, bilateral trade has soared just from 2.4 billion to a staggering 780 billion. Today, China and the EU are each other's second largest trading partners. Over 100,000 China-Europe Railway Express trains have run so far, serving as the Eurasian land bridge. Whether China-EU cooperation heats up or cools down, it carries serious weight for the global economy and politics.
Ultimately, we believe that, we can share and exchange our strengths, and we can create really a much more successful future. Now, for one example, and I would like to express is, we can consider, and we would like to be considered for joint ventures, for R&D partnerships. There are many opportunities and spaces where the coming together of the EU Chamber side and the Chinese side can really be a successful one.